Are you planning on buying an RV? Well, watch this first. This is RV buying mistakes that newbie RV buyers make and also experienced buyers make. Learn from the mistakes that cost me thousands of dollars. I want to share everything I can to help you pick out the right RV the very first time. I'm Tom with EnjoyTheJourney.Life. Our channel is all about RV living and traveling full time. And with the pandemic going on and RVs are more and more popular, yet there's a lot fewer RV shows. So if you're looking to buy an RV, we do have more RV tours coming out. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And we'll put a link down to our recent Airstream and van tour video that we did, so check that out.
Oh my God, look at the storage on this. This is the wine closet you have for storage. Right here. For clothes.
Now here's the top RV buying mistakes that I've made and have seen other people make. Don't make these mistakes. Number one, not joining the Facebook groups that are started by the actual owners of the brand and or the model of RV that you're considering purchasing. Most of them will allow you to join and you can research the posts that various owners have put on there, the things they like and don't like, or you can just ask a question. You can say, I'm considering buying this particular RV. What do you guys think? And a lot of the owners are very helpful and willing to put down what they really think about their RV. And you can decide if it's really the direction you want to go or if you want to look at a different brand. Also, part of that is not checking out the online reviews. There are so many different review websites out there, specifically looking at how well the brand took care of warranty work or what kind of problems other RV owners have had with getting repairs done. Number two is choosing the wrong RV dealer to purchase from. Like, will that dealer service and do the warranty work for that RV? How good are they at providing all of the training that you need in order to be able to drive that off the lot and know everything that you need to know? The plain fact is your RV is going to need to be serviced, and you're going to want to make sure you go with a dealer that will do the warranty work and honor all of the service requirements. Choose a dealer with a great reputation like the Great Outdoor RV Company in Greeley, Colorado. I also wanted to let you guys know that I wrote an extensive companion blog post to this video with a couple more RV buying mistakes that I've made myself, so make sure you check that out. The link will be down below in the description. Size matters. Buying too small or too large of an RV. You need to consider the space. How many family members will be traveling with you? Are you going to be full-time or part-time? Do you have pets? Now, we recommend going smaller rather than larger, and you can definitely buy an RV that is too large. Yes, I did that. I had a 3/4 ton truck and I bought a 40-foot RV the very first time, and that was not enough truck, and I had to eventually sell that and get a different truck. And also realize that really large RVs have a hard time getting into all the campsites. Like with our 43-foot Grand Design Momentum right now, there are 30 to 40% of campsites all over the country that we can't even fit into. Now, we love all of the amenities of a huge RV like that, but you just can't get all the places we'd like to go. So consider the size before buying your RV. Next mistake is not doing a test drive of the RV. Yes, some people actually do buy an RV and not take it for a test drive. I did that with my first RV. Although I had experience driving and towing trailers, it still was a challenge to get used to towing a vehicle that big. What I would actually recommend, even before thinking about RVing seriously, is rent one first and see if you're comfortable with RVing in the first place and camping. And then of course, are you comfortable driving an RV that size, whether it's Class A or towing a very large fifth wheel, because they are a challenge to tow. So make sure you don't bite off more than you can chew, so to speak, with driving. Many people have made that mistake. Next mistake is not negotiating the best price for the model and RV that you're looking for. Yes, even now, don't believe all the hype that RVs are selling faster than ever before. Yes, sales are up, but I don't think they're up any more than they were a couple years ago, maybe 5%. I think sales are still down. Depending on the type of RV you're looking at and the make or model, you can still negotiate. Don't listen to if a dealer says there's not many of these available. If you talk to a few and they all say the same thing, then yeah, maybe you'll have to pay a little bit more than you want to, but still, don't get too excited about one particular dealer. Be ready to walk out the door if you're not going to get the deal that you want. You can always go back in, you know, be willing to take some time before jumping on the very first deal you think is the best. If you have a make or model you want, you can always email or call 3 or 4 different dealers and see who gives you the best price on that particular model. You should be able to negotiate 20 to 30% off the retail sticker price of an RV. Don't think your local RV dealer can compete with the big boys? Think again. I actually got the best price on my first RV at my local dealer in Minnesota. They even beat a so-called factory wholesale dealer that was in Indiana right next to the RV manufacturer, and that included delivery or shipping. And the next mistake is not doing a proper shakedown trip before you plan to do your fun RV camping. Actually, what's best if the RV dealer you're going with has a campground attached, or at least lets you stay in the service bay. Maybe they'll have water and electric available. You can stay there a few nights while you're figuring everything out. And usually a dealer will show you everything in advance before you drive off the lot. I would not go to a dealer that doesn't offer at least that. But if they don't have an attached camping facility or at least some basic hookups, you can maybe go to a campsite that's very close to that dealer. That way you can call them up if there's any questions you have. And don't be surprised if you find problems with it the very first trip. Plan to find problems and plan to have lots of questions. That's why that very first trip, don't necessarily plan to have fun. Plan to do a lot of learning, unless you like learning, which can be fun for some people. The next mistake is not having your RV inspected by somebody independent from the dealer you're going to be purchasing from. You can actually look up independent RV inspectors online. I think they're around $400 or $500 to have the inspection done. Yes, even if it's a brand new RV, you still want to have it looked at by somebody that knows all of that. You will save yourself more than it costs you on making sure your RV is ready to go before you drive it off the lot. And the next mistake is relaxing after negotiating the best price on your RV and thinking, everything's all set. Well, buying an RV is just like buying a new car or truck. There are lots of extra fees that they can add on to the deal after the fact. Things like if you are financing through them, the financing might not be the best rate. There might be extra charges like an application fee, extra protections they offer you that aren't really needed, maybe an exterior surface protection plan. When I was looking at buying a used RV from someone that had already bought it from a large dealership, they had 4 or 5 extra buyer protection things that added thousands of dollars to it. Now, I actually think an extended warranty is a good way to go, but I'm going to talk more about extended warranty mistakes in a minute. What we recommend is trying to negotiate the things you really want, like an extended warranty, right into the price. That way you're not paying extra. If you are financing your RV, we recommend being pre-approved through a place like USAA or Good Sam. That way you feel like you have more power when you walk in the door to get your best deal. And the next RV purchasing mistake is not budgeting for repairs. Yes, repairs are going to be a thing. If you think your RV was expensive, wait till the potential repairs crop up. And even if you have an extended warranty, that really cool extended warranty doesn't cover a lot of repairs. Now, I've had an extended warranty and it did pay for itself when I looked at it compared to all of the things it covered and the things it didn't cover, even though I spent maybe a couple $1,000s for it. But with our current RV, I bought that used and no warranty, and I've had very few repairs on that. So if I had purchased another extended warranty, so far it wouldn't have paid off. But the best thing I think to do would be to budget a certain amount per month or per year for expenses. I'm going to throw a number out like maybe a couple thousand all the way up to $5,000 a year for repair expenses should be budgeted. If you don't spend that, hey, that's more money for having fun or doing more camping, but plan to have that available just in case.
Oh, stopped.
Oh, I took the belt off the motor, so it's you got bearing noise in the motors, what you got. Eventually it's gonna fail. Eventually it's gonna fail.
And I have to share the joke about RV really stands for ruined vacation, and that's why all of these other things I've recommended, doing the shakedown, having it inspected, that way you don't have an RV that stands for ruined vacation. And the next purchasing mistake is not knowing the height of the RV. You want to find out what it is and use a route planning tool like RV Trip Wizard, which we use. We're actually able to put in the height of our RV, 13.5 feet. That way, when we are planning a trip, we punch that in and it gives us directions that avoid low bridges, because you don't want to have a situation like this where you destroy your RV because you went under a bridge that's too low. It's happened to many, many people. So know the height of your RV.
Oh,
Went down this yesterday.
I know, but we were going up. That's going down. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. Yeah, it looks a little tighter today. That looked a little tighter than last night.
And the next mistake, can you believe all these mistakes so far? We're finally getting toward the end of all of them, is not getting a new set of tires on your RV. Now, double check that they are rated heavy duty enough for all the stuff you plan to put in your RV, the weight of the RV plus all of your supplies and camping gear and all of that, water in your fresh tank and your gray and black tanks and all of that. So many RV manufacturers cut costs by putting cheaper or smaller tires on them. There's a few that are starting to put the right size tires, like our Grand Design Momentum came with G-rated tires, which is the right size tire for a huge RV like that. But again, double check that, because you would assume your brand new RV would come with the right tires, but you know what they say about assumptions. So make sure you check on those tires. And our last mistake for this video is not getting the right RV insurance. There are all kinds of different insurances you can get, and sometimes the insurance company that you get with your auto policy, truck policy, they'll just add on your RV, but it won't be the proper insurance. It won't cover all the things that a RV specific policy will cover. Or if you're full-time, you especially want a full-time RV insurance policy. This is a big topic, and we plan on doing a separate video on that. So if you want to catch that video, again, subscribe. That way you'll know when that video gets released. Once again, I wrote an extensive companion blog post about RV buying mistakes, and there's even more detail in that blog post, so check that out. The link will be down in the description. Did I miss any RV purchasing mistakes? Let us know down in the comments. That way everybody can learn from your experience as well. And we want you to be safe out there on the road and pick the right RV the first time. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you next time, friends. Take care. They may be your soul with just a few extra sunset.
On the stars.